Throughout 2023, we've seen a surge in the use of large language models. Along with their flourishing, these models have introduced new risks and threats to society. For example, in July 2023, researchers uncovered universal jailbreak prompts for several AI chat models. In December, it is reported on Twitter that GPT-powered chatbot launched by Chevrolet can generate Python scripts. Earlier in 2024, OpenAI reported on efforts to disrupt malicious uses of large language models by state-affiliated threat actors. At the same time, many individuals and companies have been developing large language model applications. Developers typically use two methods. The first one is pre-training and prompt. In this way, pre-trained models like ChatGPT and Llama are guided by prompts to perform specific tasks. The other is pre-training and fine-tuning, where models are refined with custom datasets to learn new behaviors. However, we've observed that cybercriminals on underground marketplaces are also starting to exploit large language models. They are developing large language model applications as malicious services. We refer to these applications as Malla. These mallas are being used to generate malicious code, phishing emails, phishing web pages, and more. On the right, you can see ads for 3 products in underground marketplaces, including XSGPT, WormGPT, and EscapeGPT. EscapeGPT even displays the demo of malicious code generation. Next, let's check the strategies of these cybercriminals, along with the threat model of Malicious. The Malla vendors first misuse public large language model APIs or uncensored large language models to develop their Malla product. They then deploy it as a web service or host it on third-party large language model hosting application platforms. After that, they promote it on underground marketplaces. Users interested in these products are navigated to the Malla service, where they can purchase and interact with it to generate malicious content. From these observations, our study focuses on 2 main questions. The first question is, what are the ecosystem and techniques behind Malla? The second question is, how do real-world Malla samples perform? Based on the observation, we categorize Malla into 2 types. The first type is Malla services, which are created and deployed by cybercriminals for profit. These services are typically promoted in underground marketplaces and forums. Users must purchase the source code or a usage license to access these services. An example is Black Hat GPT, where users must pay around $200 for a 1-month license. The second type is Malla projects, hosted on large language model application hosting platforms like Poe and FlowGPT. These projects are accessible for free, such as Chaos GPT, which is currently available on FlowGPT. To acquire Malla services, we conducted searches on 9 popular underground marketplaces and forums. We successfully collected 25 web pages promoting Malla and identified 14 Malla services. Additionally, we gathered 45 prompts from screenshots in their promotional web pages, showcasing their malicious capabilities. However, simply checking promotional web pages does not guarantee that these Malla services are actually available. Following the guidelines from our university's ethical board, we attempted to purchase these Malla services. Finally, we successfully acquired 9 Malla services through transactions. The remaining transactions turned out to be fraudulent. We examined the hosting locations of Malla services. We discovered that most are hosted on their own web servers, such as EscapeGPT, BadGPT, and FreedomGPT. Additionally, we found that XXGPT is hosted on Poe. WolfGPT and EvilGPT are available as open-source code, and CodeGPT and MakerGPT are distributed as open-source jailbreak prompts. Next, we investigated the back-end large language models of Malla services. By checking the source code of Evil GPT and Wolf GPT, we found they are powered by OpenAI's DaVinci series. For the other Malla services, we monitored their network traffic or examined their hosting pages. For instance, we discovered that Bad GPT communicates with OpenAI's GPT 3.5. Additionally, the payload of Escape GPT revealed that its back-end model is GPT 3.5 Turbo. However, we could not conclusively determine it. Dark GPT, hosted on Telegram, claims to be powered by DaVinci 3. However, since Telegram's traffic cannot be monitored, we cannot confirm this. Freedom GPT offers an offline version powered by the Lunar AI Llama 2 uncensored model, but its online version remains uncertain. Finally, the back-end large language models of 3 Malla services, Dark GPT, Escape GPT, and Freedom GPT, remained inconclusive. To address this, we developed an authorship attribution classifier capable of identifying the authorship of content generated by 6 candidate large language models. These 6 candidate models are selected based on the possible back-end models of these 3 Malla services. We trained this classifier using 15,000 query response pairs from these 6 models. The classifier's output reveals that the content generated by these 3 Mallas aligned with the evidence. We were also curious about the revenue generated by these cybercriminals from Malla services. Fortunately, while reviewing the WormGPT's webpage, we obtained the vendor's Bitcoin and Ethereum addresses. By analyzing the transaction records, we estimated the vendor's income to be around $28,000 over 3 months. Let's now turn our eyes to Malla projects. In our study, we examined large language model application hosting platforms like Poe and FlowGPT. The projects on these platforms are created using prompts on pre-trained large language models. After extraction and validation, we collected 125 Malla projects from Poe and 73 from FlowGPT. The back-end models of these projects are also visible, revealing that most are supported by GPT 3.5, with the rest powered by GPT-4, the Claude series, and Pygmalion. Among these, 143 had published their jailbreak prompts on their hosting pages. To advance our investigation, we sought to uncover the jailbreak prompts hidden within the remaining 55 Malla projects. We employed a prompt leaking attack to reveal these hidden jailbreak prompts. By querying the projects with a specific prompt, the model returned the jailbreak prompts they used at the beginning of the conversation. To evaluate the effectiveness of Malla services and projects in various malicious tasks, we conducted a study focused on their ability to generate malicious code, phishing emails, and phishing web pages. We designed specific metrics to evaluate the performance of these mallas in different tasks. For malicious code generation, we used format compliance to verify the response format. We then compiled the malicious code using Python and C compilers, evaluating it with the compilability metric. Additionally, we used the malicious code detection tool VirusTotal to evaluate the evasion ability of the generated malicious code. We applied similar metrics to evaluate the performance of malice in other tasks. This table shows the performance of Malla services and projects in 3 tasks. For malicious code generation, Escape GPT and Dark GPT outperform other Mallas. For phishing email generation, Evil GPT and Wolf GPT deliver the best performance. For phishing web page generation, only Escape GPT demonstrates strong performance. From the back-end models of these Malla services, we observe that uncensored models like DaVinci 2 and DaVinci 3 generally outperform other large language models. As of June 2024, new mallas continue to appear on underground marketplaces, forums, and hosting platforms. For example, we have found 7 new Malla services since October 2023. Following the release of our research, it gained significant media attention, with coverage from outlets such as the Wall Street Journal in the United States and Le Monde in France. Technology-focused media, including Tech Policy Press and the AI Incident Database, also reported our findings. In conclusion, this is the first in-depth empirical study of real-world cybercriminal activities involving the misuse of large language models as malicious services. We provide a detailed examination of the Malla ecosystem, characterizing real-world Malla samples and revealing their techniques, capabilities, and potential threats. In addition, we've released on GitHub the artifacts collected and utilized in our study. These include malicious prompts, malicious responses from large language models, code for large language model reverse engineering, etc.